Welcome back, Ross.
Thanks.
And you're married now.
Yep.
So congrats. How do you feel?
Feels very different, actually. Feel like, I don't know, what, more mature and older. Nah, I'm not kidding. It's weird. But it's good to be back.
Well, guys, it's obviously great to be back and excited to be back with everyone. And good to see everyone's faces, bright and shiny, which is amazing. I suffered with food poisoning as soon as I got back, but otherwise I'm pretty good too. Thanks for asking. Also, I just want to say for Steph and everyone that was here that managed the fort while we were away, thank you so much. It's not easy trying to run everything whilst most key people were out, so I really appreciate everyone sort of stepping in and doing what they needed to do. So thank you and much appreciated across the board. Given the fact that a lot of us were out for the very first time in SP history, I think that the people that were here managed quite well.
It'll never be done again.
Could never be done again. Yes.
Not could, it will never be done.
Never done. Unless I get married.
Yeah, that's right. So it won't happen again.
Oh, shit.
Let's go through some numbers from last week. So,
It's always good to get started now.
Hey Christy.
Hey. So there's a little tool on realestate.com which goes into prop track data that some people may not know about. So if you go onto the buy section and type in an area that you're interested in, I'm just going to put the suburb that I live in, click search, you can actually find this little lady with the binoculars. Click on that and it goes into a little bit more data of the suburb, including days on market, the amount of houses that are available and the amount of people looking in that area, and it kind of just shows you the supply and demand ratios for that area and just kind of shows you how much of a hot market it is in those areas, so you can see like what you're dealing with when you're looking for a property.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
No worries.
So Luca, I know it's early days, but just tell me how you're finding the transition to the new role so far.
Yeah, look, so far so good. Still early days. It has taken its toll already. I can always feel my body, starting to get a little bit run down. Nothing to do with Thailand last week, all to do with the new role. But apart from that, unpacking everything, just kind of discovering what needs to be done. Not a lot of things to action yet, just more listening, seeing what needs to be done, seeing what processes need to change, what people say. So it's been interesting. In the discovery phase, I think I'd like to call it.
At a very high level, what would you say is like what are your responsibilities now?
At a high level, my responsibility now is essentially to ensure the sourcing team improves their numbers, myself a part of that as well, and improve the efficiency. So there's a lot of pain points throughout the process, preliminarily, even before when we're making offers on properties. There's a lot of pain points there, a lot of pain points in the time it takes from securing a property to the contract exchange. So at a high level, just kind of understanding exactly what is happening, why the friction is there, and what can we do to improve it. Because if we improve that, we improve the efficiency of the whole team. If we improve the efficiency of the whole team, the idea is to get everybody to do the same amount of work, but just more deals in between. So what's kind of wasting their time? What are those things? How can we improve those things? And then effectively just make more deals happen that way.
Yeah, cool. And do you miss Ravi?
Do I miss Ravi? Yeah. It's hard to miss someone when you're still watching his videos every night. I'm still listening to him on the way to work, on the way home from work. I'm still getting emails from him. So Ravi, I do miss your beautiful face, but it's hard to miss somebody that's still in my everyday life. So.
Alright, cool, thanks.
No worries.
Problems, mate. Does that all make sense and give you the clarity you need?
Yeah, thanks for that. That's everything.
Awesome, mate. I will pass you on to your account manager and I'll flick you a text with the link to your portfolio planner. I'll also create a loom for you to show you kind of how it works, because you can change a few bits and pieces in there to keep it up to date.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for that.
Awesome, mate. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
See you.
So Peter, how was that session?
Yeah, it was really solid. It's good working with Ruben.
obviously really good knowledge base. So yeah, good listening in to the calls and learning a lot. So yeah, they're good.
So just had a strategy session with a client who was just signed up by one of the onboarding staff. He has an owner occupier that he bought in December, as in very recently, and it's grown at an enormous rate in the last 2 months. So he can pull equity and buy a investment property. We were chatting around areas and different locations. He was more wanting it to be around him in South Australia, but based on the data and the numbers, there are areas that are outperforming the regions in South Australia that we would look at. So he's open to purchasing those suburbs to accelerate his portfolio, which is very exciting. He's doing very well. Could potentially buy a second this year again. So we love that.
Kev, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you going?
Good. How's the week going? You've got all the team coming, or some of the team coming back from the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty empty last week, but it's pretty busy this week. But, property-wise, a little bit slow.
It happens. Why do you think that is? Any reason, or?
I don't know, it always happens, every week or so. Last week was pretty good.
Yep.
A little bit slow this week, but we'll get there. I think I'm going to get a few more hopefully tomorrow.
Any ones that you're close on, or?
Yeah, I have a few closed this week.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a few more, two hopefully. Yeah.
Awesome.
Dad, can we get ice cream tonight?
How's your day been, Marcus?
Good, Dad.
All right. Good. Tell us. Why are you over here?
I was getting bullied.
All right, Joe, behind the scenes of editing.
So I'm going to show you guys why Resolve is better than Premiere. So right here we have some footage we shot of Luca talking about his new role, and that's just some basic adjustments because it was very green. Sometimes out of the camera the white balance is off, so we just tinted it and we put a power window on him and tracked it. So if you want to watch that. So any adjustments you make on that window will only affect that, and then you can make an outside window to do the opposite. Anything outside of that, you can make adjustments to that. So these two nodes are responsible for putting the attention on Luca, just brightening him up a bit, making this darker, so the eyes naturally go to Luca.
Tips with Joe. How's the book launch going?
Good. Not booked yet. I think we're going to go with the indoor one, just because of the weather.
The upstairs one?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So it's middle of March?
Middle of March, 20th of March, hopefully. So we've got to go in on Monday.
Do you know what you should do? Announce it. I just thought about this now. It could be a crap idea. Announce it on socials and then pick like 4 or 5 random lucky winners to attend.
Could do that.
Was that a good idea or was that crap? Okay.
Well, it depends. It
depends. Yeah, what if...
We'll have security at the door, won't we?
Do like, then we've got to then, if we announce it and we turn up, we've got to then get security.
Yeah, but they won't know where it is.
Okay.
Okay, we're not announcing where it is, just in Sydney.
Yeah, and we'll vet them, obviously.
Yeah.
How do you know one?
Just check their LinkedIn and TikTok.
I think, yeah, we'll probably up to 250 people.
That's crazy.
I've got the date, Thursday 20th of March. It's more that I need to sit Ralph down on Monday and
Yeah.
be like, this, are you happy, sign up.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And the tour.
Been pushed back, but May.
September.
Oh, September. Do you have the order of the cities?
It's going to be Perth first, then it's either going to be Melbourne, Brisbane.
So Sydney's last.
Yeah.
Oh.
ICC, go big.
How good.
Well, we hope. Sign up with Ralphs.
Fantastic.
We kick off on the 6th of September in Perth. So that'll be at the, I can't even pronounce it, Subiaco Arts Theatre. SUBIACO. It is the smallest. Then I think the following Saturday will be in Melbourne, which I think will either be at the plaza that you guys saw, the class ballroom. So that's a capacity of 600. So again, that works well for Melbourne. And then that'll be on the 13th of September. Then we will be going big here in Sydney at the ICC. I think that'll be between 1,200 and 1,700, depending if we want to open up the top level. So I think if we sell 1,200 and then there's still a demand, then we can open up back. So I think it's quite intense for that, and I think like 4 or 5 hours on stage for Ravs and whoever else, and there's a lot of time for people to learn, it could be entertaining or whatever, so we just need to get that split down. So that's exciting. Book launch wise, I've spoken to Cafe Del Mar, and that day they've already got the restaurant booked out on here, so if that's booked out, then we book the thing. So I don't know if I want to do that, so I need to have a discussion with Ravs, Deeps and Morale about that. If it's up to 300, but I think we want to keep it between 175 to 220, like that kind of.
You made it sound like over 250 would be pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think called like Event Create, which is like an RSVP, but it also kind of looks like a web page, invite, which looks quite nice.
Would you look into that for me and then just
because I've got invited to something on that before, and it looks a lot like a website, but it's like just an RSVP.
Even do like Eventbrite. Yeah, I'll have a look at Eventbrite and you have a look at
Eventbrite. Yeah, and then also with the podcast, I think the clips need to be more cliffhangery, like pull you in, like it needs to make you stop when you're scrolling, which I know it's a hard thing to do nowadays because we're so.
But I think there's so many things like Ravi is obsessed with Diary of CEO.
Yeah.
Their videos stop me like literally in my
to a point where I actually think they're unethical, but
it is so bad because I'm like, oh my god, is that true? And then I'm plugged in.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's clickbait.
Yeah, it is. But their clickbait is so good.
I think that's also maybe we have a conversation with Ravs, because obviously Ravs is very unscripted in his podcast, which I think works really, really well because it's more like natural, authentic conversations. Where Stephen Bartlett has a certain question, he's saying things that he knows that can be taken in short form and grip viewers.
Yeah.
So I think we need to think about what information we can provide Ravs as like a debrief to when he has a podcast. What questions can he ask that are going to be like gripping to whoever views it in short form? Yeah, I think we're going to have to do a lot more planning to then provide to Ravs, and then he's doing more. So he still has his natural flow, natural authenticity of the podcast, but we've still got them hooking lines that can then help drive people to actually listen and watch the podcast.
Your ears must have been burning, mate.
Hey Manny, how you going?
Good.
Yeah, good. Hey, I'm here with Luca, one of our management. I got your message.
Hey Manny, how's it going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, mate, you know, living the dream. You know how it is.
Aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all? Yeah. A couple of things now. As per that email, are you guys flexible at all about that particular condition?
Clause 31 in the contract has that in there regardless. So it's my opinion. I'm more than happy to remove that. The account manager was just having a little trouble explaining that to the buyer. I'll investigate that to see what happened there. It's just a matter of just educating the buyer. So I think the buyer was just calling the solicitor for them to explain it, hence the delay. But I'll try and nudge them, get that across the line. But I don't see any issues on my end.
Yeah, if that's the case, forward me those buyer details now, obviously with that condition removed, and happy to proceed.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, Manny. Cheers.
Bye.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, so that was a bit of a miscommunication, I guess, with the special condition and then the general, normal conditions. There was a bit of a conflicting clause in there. So we found it out. There was a extra clause that doesn't need to be in the special condition.
Because we're purchasing in so many different states and whatnot, sometimes there'll be a double up on conditions. So sometimes there'll be a special condition, which for those that don't know, it's an addition onto the general conditions that are in the contract, and that changes throughout every single deal. So sometimes in this case, there was a duplicate condition. So there was a special condition on the special condition that was already in the general condition. So when we went to go remove it from the special conditions, the buyers started asking questions. And didn't really understand that it was already in there as a general condition. But it's just a matter of educating everybody involved and understanding that, these things happen. We're still protected, more importantly.
Yeah, cool. Maybe I'll check in with you guys later and see
how it went. Yeah, sounds good.
So thank you.
No worries.
Foreign investors are about to be locked out of the Aussie property market. What does this mean for your investment? So the Australian Federal Housing Minister has just released a statement talking about Labor's plan to introduce a 2-year ban on foreign investors buying established properties. Let's take a bit of a dive into what that actually looks like, what the effect might look like. In the 2022-2023 financial year, there were about 5,300 homes bought by foreign investors. Only about 1,800 of those were actually established homes. So that's 1,700 out of the roughly 700,000 properties that were transacted in that financial year. That's like 0.25%. So not much. The next thing we want to look at is, are those people going to not buy at all, or will they now go and buy a new property? So how significant is this in the grand scheme of things? Leave your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned. Ravi's got a video coming out and he'll dive into a lot more detail on all of this.
All right, update. So, firstly, since the end of last year, I think one of the things that we're missing, we need a leader. We need one person to go to. I think it might be pretty obvious at this point, but we have asked